Have you ever had a windshield that had a retainer on the bottom and it was coming off the glass? Like this one here, we saved the windshield, but the retainer is not attached to the glass, and actually quite a bit of it is coming off. Or maybe you've had a brand new glass that you got from a supplier and the retainer you noticed is just not quite right, or do you know it's going to fold whenever you put the new glass in? Well, in this video I'm going to show you exactly how I reattach these so that I don't have to replace the whole glass. The first thing I'll do is I'll remove this entire retainer, and you have to get all of the glue off the glass. All of this double stick tape or glue that you've seen in here, you have to get all of that off the glass and make sure your surface is ready to apply primer. Okay, great. Now you've got the surface of the glass ready. Now it's time to get the actual retainer ready. All of this double stick tape has to come off of the retainer. It all has to be removed so that it's ready for the new primer. Now that both of your surfaces are ready, you're able to prime. First the body, and the molding, or the retainer. We're just putting primer right there where that adhesive was. Then I'll get a tip for my glue and I'll make sure I cut it real small. I don't want it very big at all because we don't need a whole lot of glue. You can see that, but I'm not cutting very much. Now using that tip, I'm going to apply the glue to the glass right in the spot where it's going to land with the retainer. And don't put much. You can see how small my bead is here. After my glue is applied, I'll wear gloves because it will get everywhere. You'll take your retainer and obviously upside down, you're gonna have to try to match it up the best you can. And I'll start on one end and kind of work it on, feeling it with this finger on the bottom. I'm feeling it go in right up on the glass. Trying to get as close to the way it's supposed to be as I can. It may also work to put the glue on the retainer. I've never tried that, but that may work as well. The next part is very important. You're gonna wanna clamp this down. Now you can use clamps maybe from home. Maybe you have something in your van that would clamp. I keep these. These are found on the bottom of windshields a lot of times. They're holding retainers in place. You can get them from OE glass or sometimes even from an aftermarket. Usually these are found on Rover glass. And I've hung on to several of them over the years. And what I'll do is I'll just place one like so and just get it right on there and try to make sure it's holding it in place. Maybe the other way is the better. I think it's this way though. Oh, maybe it is that way. So yeah, I've got that one flipped on there wrong. So I'll just put these on here. And all this is gonna do is hold this in place. Sometimes once I got those in place, I'll use tape. You can use tape. Just kind of, again, you want to make sure it's really on there. it can be best to flip it over to see exactly what you're working with. And then you can really see that line here to make sure it's in place. And you may be asking yourself, why even do this? What's the point? Well, sometimes whenever you got a glass that you got from the factory, or again, maybe you've pulled and saved a glass and you're wanting to reattach it because you don't want to spend the money to get a new glass, this is a way to do that. The reason is because you could just put double stick tape, which is what some people would do, but that sometimes does not create the correct seal to keep water out. Sometimes you'll get water that'll creep through that double stick tape, and it'll drip into your AC or your air intake or something that could cause another leak. This ensures that your seal on this retainer is correct. Okay, now that we've got the retainer on, I'm gonna let it cure as I work on the car and get it ready. Typically, I'll find a glass like this in our glass rack in storage at our shop that the retainer's coming off and we can't get another glass. It's the only glass available. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take it and I'll do it over the weekend. That way, whenever it's time to install the glass, it's ready to roll. That gives it plenty of time to cure. But here on site, I have to let this cure. I'm gonna let it probably cure for at least 30 minutes. Since it's just a small little bitty bead of glue, it's gonna cure a lot faster than you would if you were doing a full bead. But I'm gonna try to wait as long as I can before I install the glass. I also noticed on the Tahoes, which is what I'm working on, this Volkswagen, the retainer lays on this piece of body. So whenever I put the cowling into the retainer, it's going to press that retainer up against the metal. Some models that you'll come up against that have this problem with the retainers don't have this metal. It's just going to be an opening. On those, you really need to make sure it's cured up, because when you go to put that cowling in, it's going to just take your retainer right back off the glass. You really want to give it enough time to cure correctly.